Hi there guys, welcome to Dino's Vault and welcome to my first ride review of the Harley Davidson Street Rod 750, the 2018 model. The Street Rod 750 is everything you wanted the Street 750 to be. This new bike looks better, offers better road presence with a more contemporary styling. It rides better with a high revving engine. The bike now offers better brakes, gets dual channel ABS as standard, the build quality feels more solid and neat, and the bike pretty much comes across as a very well put together value for money package overall. All the glitches from the Street 750 have been addressed here. All the feedbacks from the Street 750 owners have been taken into consideration, and all the shortcomings of the Street 750 have been overcome, which has all culminated into Harley Davidson introducing the Street Rod 750. As a matter of fact, the Street 752 has come a long way in and of itself in terms of evolution, and I'll be reviewing the 2018 model soon. But for now, for those who still stand confused trying to differentiate between the Street 750 and the Street Rod, here's a quick fire comparo coming up. First of all, the design of the Street Rod 750 has been changed completely, right from the front end to the tail section to the handlebar, and pretty much the entire bike for that matter looks completely fresh and significantly different than the Street 750. The overall build quality has improved by leaps and bounds, wherein we see Harley clearly putting their foot down to prove what makes them one of the most prestigious brands across the world. The kind of detailing that we get with this bike is phenomenal, like the Harley Davidson logo being imbibed into the turn indicators, the logo engraved on the foot pegs, the perforated finish and the French stitch pattern on the seats that really gives the bike an upmarket feel. Also, the quality of the brake and clutch levers as well as the bar and mirrors seems far superior on the Street Rod. Apart from this, the Street Rod also gets a shorter subframe compared to that of the Street 750, and as a result, the tail section is now more compact and sleek. Now coming to the powertrain, we get the same 749cc liquid-cooled Revolution X engine with identical bore and stroke. The compression ratio, however, is higher for the Street Rod. Also, we get a higher output engine for the Street Rod that revs up to 9,000 RPM now. Now, though the power figures are not officially disclosed, I feel the power has increased significantly on the Street Rod compared to the Street. Now, Harley claims that the peak power has been increased by 18% and the max torque by 8% compared to that of the Street 750, and this is clearly evident right from the word go. Now, the torque has increased by 3 Newton meters to 62 Newton meters compared to 59 Newton meters of the Street. The Street 750 gets a single port fuel injection system, while the Street Rod gets a twin port fuel injection system. Now, dimensions wise, length of the Street Rod is down by 85 mm, and as a result, wheelbase is down by 10 mm, which results in better flickability through the corners. The steering head angle is reduced by 5 degrees and the trail is down by 16 mm. Now, talking about the tires, for the Street Rod, we get 17-inch wheels at both ends compared to 17-inch front and 15-inch rear setup of the Street 750. Also, we get wider tires for the Street Rod because up front we get a 120/70 tire compared to the 100/80 tire of the Street, and at the back we get a 160/60 tire as opposed to the 150/70 tire of the Street 750. Now, tank capacity remains the same at 13.1 liters for both the bikes. Now, talking about the dry weight, the Street Rod is 6 kgs heavier than the Street 750, but the excess weight is not really apparent once you're on the go. The seat height is increased by 45 mm for the Street Rod, so the seat height is now up to 765 mm compared to 720 mm of the Street. The seat cushioning and the quality of material used is more premium on the Street Rod as well. Another noteworthy, remarkable change is that of the ground clearance. Ground clearance is up by 60 mm for the Street Rod, wherein it is now a staggering 205 mm compared to 145 mm of the Street 750. Now, this translates into better cornering clearance and as a result, sharper lean angles. Therefore, the lean angle on the right side is now 37.3 degrees compared to 28.5 degrees of the Street, and on the left it is up to 40.2 degrees compared to 28.5 degrees of the Street 750. The gear ratios remain absolutely unchanged for both the bikes. Now, another most wanted change that the Street Rod brings along with it are the brakes. We get dual 300mm discs with 2 piston calipers up front compared to the 292mm single disc of the Street 750. Now, there is no particular mention of the rear disc diameter on the official site, but as per some reliable online sources, it is a 300mm unit with 2 piston calipers. Now, another major upgrade that the Street Rod gets is the suspension. We now get chunky 43mm upside down front forks compared to the conventional telescopic forks of the Street. At the back we get piggyback reservoir shock absorbers with longer travel suspension compared to that of the Street 750. So the list of upgrades compared to that of the Street 750 are quite impressive and comprehensive, with better brakes, superior suspension, fatter tires, a more responsive engine, and truly impressive build quality. Now, talking about how the Street Rod feels to ride, I rode it predominantly through the city streets and found the bike to be extremely street friendly with its improved agility and easy flickability. The abundant ground clearance lets you zip through the city streets without worrying about the bottom scraping. The shorter wheelbase along with the drag style handlebar and a steeper steering head rake allows you to find your way through the traffic effortlessly. The only thing that would bother you initially is the seating posture. It is extremely awkward to begin with, but once you start getting a hang of it and find the right posture for your body stature, you'll start enjoying your ride. And playing a major role in putting a wide smile on your face and ensuring that the smile stays on throughout your ride is the ultra responsive and super refined engine. I absolutely loved the Revolution X engine when I reviewed the Street 750, and it feels even more sportier and peppier now on the Street Rod. You do feel some vibrations lower down in the RPM range, but once you're in the mid-range, the bike feels super refined and ultra smooth. The sweet spot for this bike lies between 5000 to 6000 RPM, and beyond that the vibrations slowly start creeping in. I loved the feel of the clutch and the brake levers. They are of much better quality now. The clutch isn't all that hard, the gearbox works perfectly well, the throttle response is quite instant and immediate. The fueling felt better on the Street Rod compared to the Street 750 without any snatchy or snappy episodes. The brakes are obviously much better. They offer better bite and feedback. The front end feel is a lot more reassuring thanks to the 43mm inverted forks. The chassis offers superb stability while zipping through empty stretches as well as while carving through the corners. The handlebar is ideally set, thereby allowing you to steer the bike effortlessly. Now, talking about areas of improvement for this bike, the first thing that I'd like to change in this bike are the tires. Now, mind you, MRF tires are good and do offer decent road grip, but they do not do complete justice to the kind of fun and performance that this bike is capable of delivering. I really hope Harley Davidson at least offer Michelin tires with future upgrades. Now, the second not so great thing about this bike is the heating issue. Now, so long as you're riding this bike through the empty stretches on the city streets, it's fine because you don't really feel the heat, but the moment you stop at a traffic signal, your legs start getting roasted like a kebab. The heat is quite apparent and bothersome, but since most of you would be taking this bike out only for weekend rides, I guess you can manage and make do with the heating issue. Well, that's about it. That's my review of the Street Rod 750. Now, special thanks to Harley Davidson Hyderabad chapter for allowing me to review this bike for you guys. You can call the number appearing on the screen to know the exact on-road price for this bike. Now, mileage wise, as per user feedback, it is around 18 to 20 kmpl. Starting at rupees 6.06 lakhs ex-showroom, it is quite an interesting proposition as such. It is among the most affordable Harley Davidson motorcycles that you can buy. It comes well equipped with a rev-happy sporty engine. We get a good set of brakes with dual-channel ABS as standard. We get better suspension, amazing ground clearance, a modern sports cruiser design along with the dark custom theme, and most importantly, the satisfaction of owning a Harley without having to sell our house. Special thanks to Gautam from Gautam Photography for capturing my riding shots, and please do check out Gautam's page as well as my page on Instagram. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.